ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ श्री हनुमते नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। As always, we will start with the chanting of the Chaupai and Doha. नवधा भगति कहूँ तो ही पाही, सावधान सुनु धरु मन माही। प्रथम भगति संतन कर संगा, दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा। गुरपद पंकज सेवा, तीसरी भगति अमान। चौथी भगति मम गुणगन, करई कपट तजिगान। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भय सब संतन की जय। नवधा भक्ति, नवविधा भक्ति is being very, very beautifully, devotionally and logically explained by Sant Tulsidas ji. Goswami Tulsidas ji started by saying Prathama Bhagati Santana Karasanga, where he emphasized on the importance of satsanga, importance of association. The association decides our quality and texture of thoughts. Swami Vivekananda ji once said, "Show me who your friends are, I will tell you who you are." That is the power of association, both at the physical level with the others and at the mental level. Therefore, association is very, very, very important. In fact, we are all so weak. Honestly speaking, we may claim to be a great Pailwans, physically and mentally, but frankly and openly speaking, all of us are so weak. Why do I say so? Because we get influenced by the external forces very easily. Therefore, getting influenced with or by the satsanga, by satpurusha, satkathana, satchintana, satkarya, satkirtana is very important for our inner growth. Therefore, santanakara sangha. Dusari bhagati mama katha prasanga. We have to, or we may take up katha as a medium to connect with God. The very purpose of katha is to increase the love for God. This is very first point. The first point is to increase the love for God through the katha. The second is, if you actually frankly notice, clearly understand, all the mythological stories are to emphasize the importance of righteousness, art of right contact, art of right living, art of developing the right character. This is the purpose. Interestingly, all the mythology emphasizes time and again the importance of the righteousness. Incidentally, we find all the movies also. Actually, they want to emphasize on the importance of righteousness by downthrowing the villain, if we may say so. But when at the end of the movie, within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, the villain is killed or arrested or something, and then righteousness is established. When at the end, but all through the movie you will find villain seems to be having a upper hand. And interestingly, our mind thinks of that and says villain is powerful, wrong things are more powerful than the righteousness. This is what our younger generation get the message. Whereas in our mythological stories you will find time and again righteousness is upheld. And therefore association with our earlier generations who were pure and righteous, association with satsanga, with katha, harikatha, etc. is very, very important. Dusari bhagati mama katha prasanga, which will give me the knowledge of, the right knowledge of righteousness at every stage. And thereby, the third point is accept the supremacy of the Lord who represents righteousness. Think. Bhagavan represents the importance of righteousness. Therefore, that is a third point where I accept the supremacy of Bhagavan, supremacy of righteousness, supremacy of the right contact, supremacy of right living. This we gain through katha. And the very interesting part, while we are thinking of righteousness, etc., etc., one should not forget to enjoy, revel in the Leela of Bhagavan. You take it Rama, you take it Krishna, you take it Shiva. While depicting righteousness, while giving the actual importance of righteousness, they also give us the joy of enjoying. Isn't it? When Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives so many pranks, when he makes so many pranks, even the children enjoy. Frankly speaking, honestly speaking, children enjoy those things very well. Why? Their mind is pure. Whereas elders have, the so-called elders, sorry to say, the so-called elders have so much of arrogance of knowledge. Think. It's a very subtle point. We have arrogance that we know. We have arrogance that I know better than you. You know that very statement they have. Holier than thou attitudes. It is these attitudes in us which throw us down, which doesn't make us feel the joy. The ego in us stops us from enjoying. And very many people, when the Krishna Leela is being talked about, sometimes there are a few people who ridicule on those Leelas. All those are childish pranks. What is there in that? There are so much to learn from them. This we learn only when we involve ourselves. In fact, we are indulging in the outer world. We should indulge in these things. Actually get drowned into the Leela of the Katha. Yesterday we saw how beautiful, actually, day before yesterday, we saw the Katha of Kevat. And those who listened to the Katha later came and told me yesterday, Swamiji, I never knew this Katha had so much of inner thinking in it. Very many times we look at Katha as just Katha and then pass it away. But if we actually understand the Katha, in fact, Kathas help us to remain in Bhagavan's thought. Why? Because Katha is very powerful. Now see, in any pravachan you go to anybody's pravachan, there will always be one or two kathas. Why? Through the katha, the actual point is driven. The theme is driven. The important knowledge is given. But when we give it as a knowledge, very many times the mind slips. The mind does not remember, but the mind remembers a katha. And through the katha, when I remember the katha, I also remember that particular point which is driven through the katha for educating our mind. Therefore, this is very, 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 very important. Dusari rati mama katha prasanga. Gurapada pankaja seva tisari bhagati aman. Yesterday we saw how important is serving the Guru. Physical service of the Guru is to take care of the requirements of the Guru and the ashram. Very important. And very, very many times we find people who take care of such institutions also develop ego. That I am taking care. No, 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 no. Saha iva bhavana. When it is said, seva is what? When I serve the Guru as though I am serving Bhagavan himself. And Guru is always placed higher, one notch higher to Bhagavan. Therefore, Guru is extremely important. Why? Guru is the one who physically comes and takes us from where we are in the worldly affairs to where we ought to be, that is gaining the knowledge of the Supreme. Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam, it is said. What does it mean? One way of thinking is Mata is first, Daivam is later. That is one way of thinking. But the actual way of thinking is Mata is the first step, Pita is the second step, Guru is the third step. Who gives us the knowledge of the Supreme Bhagavan Daivam? And Daivam is our purpose of human life. The very meaning of a human life is fulfilled only when we come to understand the ultimate truth, Bhagavan. And that knowledge Mata or Pita cannot give. They can only give a conducive circumstances. But the knowledge and the purpose of life is given to us by Guru, and therefore Guru is the ultimate. Therefore, surrender at the feet of the Guru. Na guror adhikam tattvam, na guror adhikam tapaha. In fact, when it comes to Guru, all of our other tapas can be set aside. Guru becomes primary. In the absence of the physical absence of the Guru, we may take up tapas for what? Again, to keep ourselves in track. Which track? The path which the Guru has shown us. To keep us on that path, one must perform seva. Seva is an extreme form of love towards Guru and Bhagavan. In fact, Guru, who is Bhagavan. Guru pada pankaja seva tisari bhagati aman. Chauthi bhagati mama gunagana karai kapata teji gan. Karai kapata taji gan. Now this sentence must be understood very carefully. If we don't take it properly, it can mislead also. How? In fact, this is one more way. It is a simple thing, but very powerful. We will see. Chauti Bhagat, fourth form of bhakti is Mama Guna Gana. Gana means Gana. Mama Guna Gana means singing my glory. Now here we should not take Bhagavan is also interested in listening to his own glories. No. That only human being has. Human being have that wrong joy of listening to one's own glory. When somebody praises us, we are very, very happy. And those people who praise me becomes very, very important. They all become very good, however they are. Example, politicians. Think. Everybody who praise me becomes my great friend. And those who do not praise me do not come into my framework. Why? Because they criticize me. Think. This has been our way of life. But frankly speaking, the one who criticizes, now please note very carefully, that means all those who criticize do not become great people. The one with love who shows us the right way can only be a Guru, accepting our limitation. Think. In the path of sadhana, in the path of tapas, when the student has committed himself to trek the path of tapascharya or sadhana, he, because of the past karmas, because of the past vasanas, may slip and fall, but the Guru holds his hand, lifts him, and takes him along, pats him behind, and says, "Doesn't matter, be careful." The Guru does not say, "Doesn't matter, I am there." He says, "Doesn't matter, be careful next time." Think. This is the glory of the Guru. He accepts everybody as they are. He accepts the student with all limitations, and at the same time, he guides the student to proceed further in the sadhana, so that he intensifies the sadhana. He intensifies the sadhana, meaning what? He intensifies that tapascharya which the student has to take. And then you will find the student definitely progresses with the support, with the knowledge, with the love, with the care, and with the guidance. This only a Guru can give. Therefore, surrender at his feet. That is why he is beyond even Bhagavan from one standpoint. Therefore, sing the glory. The Guru has taught me this. What is that? Sing the glory of Bhagavan. Why do I sing and talk about Bhagavan? Why does a Guru time and again sing the glory and talk about Bhagavan? Because once I accept the supremacy of Bhagavan, my mind will automatically surrender at his feet. As long as I don't accept the supremacy of Bhagavan, surrendering is very difficult. Because my ego always says, I am great. Think. That is why when some people keep talking to us, for everything we say, I know. Actually, we don't know. But then we say, I know. Why? We don't want to exhibit our ignorance. And the worst part is, we say, I know, even in front of the Guru. And the Guru smiles. And the Guru says, okay, I know you know, but now you also know. And then he has to give us the knowledge. This compassion, karuna, only a Guru can have. Therefore, glorify both Guru and Bhagavan. Again and again, time and again, I say, there is no two. Guru himself is nothing but an expression of Bhagavan only, embodiment of Bhagavan only. But then, our limited, small mind cannot see that Bhagavatva, that greatness, if I may call so, of Bhagavan in the Guru. Therefore, we say Guru and God. There is no two, please. Guru alone is God, God alone is Guru. Sadashiva samarambham asmadacharya paryantam vande guru paramparam. When we say, we start from where? Sadashiva. Dakshinamurti. Who is Dakshinamurti? Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Varshishtante vasadrishiganaihi avritam brahmanishthaihi. Mauna Vyakhya, through Mauna, in that loud silence. Dakshinamurti teaches as a Guru to every one of us. Therefore, Guru and God is no different. And here Ramchandraji says, Mama Gunagana, glorify that Lord. the point here is, all of us have taken one Ishtadevata for our own connecting with God. Glorify that Ishtadevata. Read his stories. Read his katha. Read his guna. While we are reading the guna of Bhagavan, while we sing the glory of Bhagavan. Singing is a very interesting thing. Mama guna gana is what? Singing my glory. What is that singing my glory? We sing our own glories all the time. But if you honestly sit down and quietly think, when the mind is quiet, now please be very attentive. When the mind is quiet and when the mind is free. Remember, when the mind is quiet and when the mind is free, you will not believe this, automatically, without your knowledge, you will start singing something. And some people get stuck with some song for a long period of time. I have that habit. If one particular song gets into my mind, I'll keep on singing the same bhajan. And after that I have to, oh my God, why is it that I'm stuck with this? Then I have to change the bhajan. And in many cases, people keep singing some movie song. Or that, the best thing is that TV serial title songs. Oh God. Mind gets stuck, but let it get stuck with good things. Let it get stuck with Gunagana of Bhagavan. When I keep singing the glory of the Lord, there is a joy in my heart singing that, and I am also keeping my mind attached to Bhagavan. We gave the example of a genie, a ghost, who has been asked to tie a pole and go up and down when there is no job. Whenever the guru says there is a job, he will come, perform the job, go back, go up and down. What is this going up and down? Mama guna gana. Sing the glories. Whenever the mind has no righteous occupation, when the mind does not have any important occupation, then keep the mind engaged in gunagana. And now the last point, this is where I told it is very dangerous if you don't understand it properly. See, while singing that doha, Gurapada Pankaja Seva Tisari Bhagati Yaman Chauthi Bhagati Mama Gunagana Karaika Pat Tajigan. According to Chandas, Gunagana, then there is a pause, and then we say Karai Kapat Tajigan. If you don't understand the thing properly, Karai Kapat Tajigan. Oyyo Rama. Do kapata, perform kapata with all kapata buddhi, and then gana teji. No. We have to understand correctly. Chauthi bhagati mama guna gana karai. The pause should be after karai. Otherwise, karai kapata. Swamiji, that is what we are doing, no? Think. Therefore, kapata teji. And Gana Karai. This we have to understand carefully. And in bhakti, now please be very attentive. It is a very sensitive thing. If you have to get it properly, otherwise it will lead you to disastrous results. In bhakti, there is nothing wrong. In pure devotion, nothing is wrong. Devotion to what? Devotion to Bhagavan. This must be very clear. Our devotion to money, our devotion to name and fame, our devotion to external comforts, that is anyway there. But we are not talking of that as devotion. Those are not called as devotion. Devotion, because the others are called attachments, they are not devotion. Devotion, bhakti can come only with Bhagavan. And with reference to Bhagavan, with reference to bhakti, nothing is wrong. Why nothing is wrong? Anything that is right, anything that is wrong is the conclusions of ego. Think. Right and wrong are conclusions of ego. In love towards Bhagavan, when the ego is surrendered, Bhagavan is ready to accept anything. Swamiji, I don't know how to sing. How can I please Bhagavan? So if you don't sing, Bhagavan will not be pleased. He'll say, no, you don't know how to sing. Go. No. Raga, Tala, etc. are for professional singing. That doesn't mean that I should not sing with raga or not sing with tala or anything. I can scream whatever I want. No. That is also not advisable. But by birth, by nature, in case I am not capable of singing, I have so many. Now see, Navadha Bhakti, Navavidha Bhakti is there. You can take up anything. But even while we take up other things, while singing the glory, Bhagavan does not see raga. Bhagavan does not see tala. Bhagavan sees bhava. Bhagavan sees your heart. Bhagavan sees the purity in the mind. Bhagavan sees the inner love you have for Bhagavan, uncompromising, unconditional love for Bhagavan. He doesn't want anything else. In fact, Bhagavad Gita says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. In fact, even if you don't have a Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, doesn't matter. You give your heart. Param Puja Gurudev, Swami Chimnananji, when we were in the batch in the Brahmachari course, Swamiji had taken Viveka Chudamani for us. And in that, while explaining, he says, whenever you want to do Archana, you need not have flowers, you need not have tulsi, you need not have anything. In fact, Archana can be done anywhere, just quieten your mind and offer your own heart as the pushpa, Hridaya Pushpa. And how? Ajaya Namaha, Vishwasmai Namaha, Maheshwaraya Namaha, Inisha Devata. And what you do, you don't have a pushpa to offer, you don't have a patram to offer, of your Hridaya. But what is required is the bhakti. What is required is the devotion. What is required is that love for God, unconditional love for God, non-beggary. Gurudev used this word. A devotion without beggary. What is without beggary? When we go to Bhagavan, when we go to temple, we go on begging. Give me this, give me that, give me that, give me this. I want this, I don't want this. Give this one, give that one. So many, 123,000 varieties. And then if it does not come, you blame Bhagavan first. How incapable I am, how irresponsible I am, how undeserving I am, we never want to think. We always put the blame on others. And then say, Bhagavan, everybody say you are Karunamayi, but you don't have any compassion. Why? You did not give me Karnataka state lottery. Kya baat hai? Think. How cheap can we become? Bhagavan doesn't want anything. Very beautiful bhajan, which gives us the glory of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji. Look at this thought. Mama guna gana karai. How? Rama nama umme. A Kannada bhajan says, sing the Rama nama umme. Umme means once. Singing the glory of Bhagavan's nama once itself is so beautiful. Suddenly I am struck with one story. I don't remember the characters. But the Guru and Shishya are there. Guru keeps singing, I think in Akbar's court, Darbar. I am not very sure of the spot. But the story I remember this is the glory of story, The Guru and Shishya are living together, and the Guru is a Asthana Vidwan or something in the Darbar. So he constantly sings the glory of Bhagavan. Oh no, in the temple. The Guru sings in the temple. And the Guru sings every day, and people flock to temple to listen to the glory of Bhagavan through this person. He's a great singer. And the Shishya is also with him all the time. And one day, the Guru falls ill. And it is at that time, the king calls him to the court. And he says, you come today and sing the glory of Bhagavan in our Darbar hall, where everybody can hear. Because when you sing in the temple, probably we are engaged in our regular Swadharma. Therefore, can you please come and sing in the hall? And incidentally, on that day, the Guru falls ill. Darbar people are waiting. So he calls his Shishya and says, you go and you sing there on my behalf and tell the Guru that I am unwell and therefore Guru has sent. And then you go and sing. So Shishya goes to the Darbar and he sings the glory of Narayana. And at the end, the Guru had the habit of giving one message. Similarly, the Shishya also gives the message. Whenever you have any problem in life, chant Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. All your problems will go. And then there was great appreciation for the Shishya, great applause for the Shishya. Guru gave, those days, Guru Allah, king gave Ratna, Vaidurya, Manika, etc. That was a gift they were just given those days. And the Shishya brings all that and keeps it at the feet of the Guru and says, Swami, this is what the king had given for me after the program. Please, I am now offering it at your feet. Idam namama. And he says. And he prostrates at the feet of the Guru. Along with him, some more people also comes behind. Because they are so fascinated with this Shishya. And then they come and tell the Guru, oh Guru, perfect Shishya you have got. He sang the glory. He so beautifully. He sang, and the message was also so beautiful. The Guru asked, what was the message? The people said, he gave the message, please chant Narayana, 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 and Narayana will take care of you. You need not worry. Bhagavan is there. Guru became silent for a minute. The Shishya did not bother. He went and he started doing his daily duties, seva to the Guru. he asked one of those people, please call my Shishya. So they went and called him. Guru is calling, so he came running. When the Shishya came near, he gave one tight slap to the Shishya, the Guru. Everybody were aghast. Arey, what is this you are doing? We are all praising him. He so beautifully sang the glory of Bhagavan. And why did you slap him? The Guru says, stupid fellow. He has said, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana 3 times. Once was sufficient. Bhagavan will come running. Why do you have to call him 3 times? That is the glory of Mama Guna Gana Karai. Remember the Bhagavan even once. Bhagavad Gita says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Mahataha abhayat. Think. It will take you away from bhaya and give you abhaya. Mahataha abhaya. Meaning what? Completely you will be freed from bhaya. Take his name. Rama Nama Umme. Umme, remember. Nudi Mana Rama Nama Umme. Hriday. What is that? Very beautiful bhajan. Rama Nama Umme. Nudi Mana Rama Nama Umme. Midiyali Hridayada Veene Umme. Midiyali Hridayada Veene Umme. Rama Nama Umme. Ra yenu manave ra yenu manave bai teredu umme. Adida madida nodida papava. Adida madida nodida papava. Horahayalu bidu umme. Rama Nama Umme. Nudi Mana Rama Nama Umme. Ma yenu manave ma yenu manave bai mucci umme. Ma yenu manave ma yenu manave bai mucci umme. Ma yenu manave ma yenu manave bai mucci umme. ಬರಲೊಲ್ಲದು ಹಾದು ಹೋದ ಪಾಪವು ರಾಮ ರಾಮ ಎನ್ನುವೊಮ್ಮೆ. ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ನುಡಿ ಮನ ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ಗಿರಿಜೆಗೆ ಶಂಕರ ಬೋಧಿಸಿದಂತಹ ತಾರಕ ಮಂತ್ರವನೊಮ್ಮೆ. ಗಿರಿಜೆಗೆ ಶಂಕರ ಬೋಧಿಸಿದಂತಹ ತಾರಕ ಮಂತ್ರವನೊಮ್ಮೆ. ನೆನೆದು ನೆನೆದು ನೀ ಧನ್ಯನಾಗುಮನ. ನೆನೆದು ನೆನೆದು ನೀ ಧನ್ಯನಾಗುಮನ. ರಾಮ ರಾಮ ಎನು ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ. ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ನುಡಿ ಮನ ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ಮಿಡಿಯಲಿ ಹೃದಯದ ವೀಣೆಯೊಮ್ಮೆ. ಮಿಡಿಯಲಿ ಹೃದಯದ ವೀಣೆಯೊಮ್ಮೆ. ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ನುಡಿ ಮನ ರಾಮ ನಾಮ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. beautiful singing Bhagavan's glory. The mind quietens by itself. Allow the mind. Allow the mind to quieten. Allow the mind to be still. There is no mind. And in that state of amanaha shines the very presence of Bhagavan in our own inner self. हृदय कुहर मध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् अहमहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.